Hey everyone, welcome back to New JANG City, where today I can show you the very beginning of a brand new project that doesn't have anything to do with this side of the table over here. I need to take a short break from working on the mountain and such because I'm once again low on pieces, but no worries, I have ordered the pieces I needed, and I was looking over here to see what else I might be able to work on in the meantime, and decided, after quite a bit of deliberation, to begin work on my second elevated rail train stop. So I've got my first one that's integrated in with the main kind of downtown passenger rail station, and it's a connector between, the lower full-size 6-wide rail and the upper elevated 4-wide rail. But that 4-wide little light rail thing, I guess, just didn't have a second place to go, didn't have a place to drop off passengers. And the plan has always been, of course, to have a place for them to go. And I'm going to be putting it over here. It has always also been in the plan since before New JANG City, since the old city, to put it somewhere over roughly around here in the old decision-making process. Put it between about where that street is right now and this space out here. So there was kind of a narrow area, and I decided to offset it a little bit from where that one is. I mean, they're fairly close. In real terms, it would be walking distance, a very short walking distance. But this is Lego. You have to think big. You have to use your imagination a bit. So putting in a second stop, it's going to be over here. It's not going to be integrated with any other buildings. It's just a standalone thing, as has always been my plan, and there will not be a third stop, at least not until I make some radical changes, which I am not planning on doing. What I've done here is just initial mock-up work. That's MOCK for the upcoming MOC, MOC, of the second train stop here. And what I've done specifically is lay out basically where things will be on the base plates as they're done. So the pair of base plates that you see here will be slid all the way up to the edge of the table. So that right there will line up. Oh boy, getting a little cramped over here. Will line up with this right down here. Yep, so that'll slide over. And what you're looking at with these light gray plates is the position of the elevated rail line itself up above. So this is just a little sample section of where that actually is, and then these tiles represent where the main 6-wide rail actually goes. So that's where I started the project, was just putting down those tiles and those plates, and then from there I went ahead and did the little sample of a rail section to give myself a basis for where that would be. That allowed me to determine where the platform would be based on the standard that's just being carried over from the first station there for offset and height and everything to line up with the train. And then from there I started just fooling around with ideas for overall shape and layout, just the functional layout, because this is going to be another thing that is driven by function over form. I think I'll be able to get a pretty nice form, interesting looking form out of it. I'm actually going to try to take a little bit of inspiration from the airport shuttle set, since I love the monorail stuff, but I really don't want to put monorail stuff on top of New JANG City up here, because it just feels too easy to me. Plus they're incredibly expensive, and I like my little train. I put so much work into figuring out a unique solution to creating a truly 4-wide little elevated rail train up there using regular power functions and no aftermarket pieces, no non-Lego pieces, except for a piece of lead that I did put into the motor car to give it a little extra traction there. I think I know how to get around that, but for now it's all Lego except for one piece of lead that's hidden away. But I like that thing, and I want to keep it. I don't want to throw that away and replace it with plain old monorail. Runs on 9-volt batteries and such. So I'm going to stick with that, and I'm going to stick with the platform height that is determined by that for where figures would get on and off. I will have a symmetrical layout that will allow access to this little side street here, and also this more major side street over here. And it'll be going in a half base plate thickness of space. So you see that space back here on this next block where there is no base plate coverage right now. That's basically the space that I've reserved for the station, but over on this block. So once that gets slid in, it'll just fit in there. Hopefully that's understood. The whole thing gets moved. Anyway, probably said it too much. Anyway, you'll be able to minifigs will be able to get access from either side, and they'll just be basically coming down the sidewalk here, or they'll cross the street, and then they'll be able to just walk in. And I'll be using the same gates that I used, passenger gates, for the same design that I used on my previous 2 passenger stations, and that includes that one there and the newer one over there. I just figure, this is one company, one rail passenger transport company, and they'll just use the same types of machinery. Why not? Also the same type of ticket machine. But this one's going to have a yellow theme. Color-wise, I'm going off, again, the Bay Area Rapid Transit East Bay, and especially Oakland area kind of standards and examples from my childhood of just kind of color-coded different stations. Like the old 19th Street station had a distinctly dark blue theme, and the 12th Street station had a distinctly brick or dark orange, reddish orange kind of theme. So I'm going with that. I've got the white and some blue over there, and so this one's just going to go with more of the yellow, and I think the accent color will be red, which will allow me to bring in some of that inspiration from the airport shuttle in terms of putting up some canopies. I'm not sure I'm going to actually use yellow up here on the top that may be replaced with red, or I might go red in the center and then yellow for the ones on the sides. We'll see how that works out. But once again, I'll have wheelchair handicapped persons access, disabilities access, with a elevator just in the center of it. And the little gates are designed to accommodate bicycles and wheelchairs and just regular people. They're just the wider standard, so they don't need special ones for that. They just all accommodate everybody. And then I'll have 2 stairways, so one at either end of the platform, a little bit of seating in the center. Things will get a little bit thin towards the edges up on the platform itself, where people will just be able to stand. Probably won't have rain coverage out there completely. So it'll be a similar deal to what I had going in terms of passenger weather protection and coverage to what I had over here, where there will be an area that is fully covered, and then they'll have kind of overflow platform space out towards the end, which is pretty consistent, I think, with a lot of at least American train stations for passengers, that they'll have a central area for when it's raining or snowing. Then people can get some coverage, but when it's summertime or just good weather, then people can kind of spread out a little bit more. So that's the basic story, that's the basic deal, basic idea, and there's a lot of work to be done, but I hope to be able to progress on this fairly quickly. So the next time I have a substantive update, I will be giving you an update video, and hopefully that'll be pretty soon, because I don't have any important reviews to do right now, so I can continue to focus on just the city when I do have time to work on Lego stuff. And thus I am going to do that. So thank you for watching. Stay tuned for updates, and I'll talk to you again as soon as I can.